Greetings, mathematicians. Mr. McNeil here. Today we are taking one step forward and we are looking at two-digit divisors. So let's go ahead and get our title jotted into our notes. And again, just off to the side, make sure you've got your date of whatever today is that you happen to be seeing this video. All right, check out the objective with me. I will solve division problems that use two-digit divisors. And again, in the past video, when we talked about divisors, we're talking about the number that it's being split into. So dividend inside the box, divisor outside the box. And the thing we will be utilizing to help us out is we are going to be using the power of estimating. Say it with me, estimating. All right. So we're going to be looking at three different types of dividing today. And we're starting with the old school method, the one your parents probably love, the one that I was taught. This is digit by digit. Now, when we're dividing a big number by a big divisor, we need to estimate. So let's round this to the nearest 10. So 32, let's say 30, and then go space by space. Does 30 go into 2? No. So we leave the space above the 2 blank. Does it go into 20? Nope. We are going to leave that space blank. What about 204? Yes. Yes, we can fit 30 into 204. This is where we really need to think about how many 30s fit into roughly 200. So I know there are 3 30s in 100. So I could probably, it's a safe bet that we use 6. So my estimate, well, 6 times 3 is 18 with a 0, 180. So we're in there. Now let's go digit by digit. 6 times 30 is 180. 6 times 2. So 6 times 30, 180. 6 times 2, we have 12. So put it together, we get 192. Subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. 0 minus 9, we can't do. We got to borrow, right? That becomes a 10. This becomes a 1. 10 minus 9 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. We have a remainder of 12. Next step. We need to bring down the 8. What do we have to do? That's right. You can say it out loud. Bring down the 8. Now we have 128. Again, we're going to go back to our estimate of 30. How many 30s can fit into 128? Again, I know 3 30s fit into 100. That gets us to 180. I think we can get just one more in here if we wanted to. Let's see. Let's plug in that 4. 4 times 30, 120. 4 times 2, 8. So we get 128. Looks like we are not going to have a remainder. The answer is 64. All right, that's the old school method. Now, take a snapshot of this. Remember it. You're going to be going back to it. We're going to need some of the step-by-steps for the next version. Next up, we're doing expanded notation. Same problem. We're going to set it up with the box. And if you recall from the last video, this is where we work the problem up and down. So again, we need that estimate of 30. Doesn't go into 2, doesn't go into 0, goes into 204. It goes into 204. How many times? It was 6. So we're going to call this 60. 60 times 32. Now, if you need to, you can go back and do the box method to do this multiplication. But what we're going to end up with is 192.20. We subtract Subtract it down, we're going to end up with 128, 60 and 128. Very similar to where we were over here, 128. But here we've got 64. So we've got our part answer here is 60, 128. Let's keep subtracting. So 32 goes into 60. How many times? Not 60. How many times is 32 going to 128? It's going to be 4 times 30. 120. 4 times 2, 8. That's how we get our 128. Get our 0. Now, big difference from digit by digit to this is we're going to take these top numbers and add them. What are we going to do? Add them. So we get 64. So same answer, different way. So we're going to work this problem up, and we're going to work this problem down. The last method, we're going with that place value method. And again, we need our estimate of 30. 30 goes into 204. How many times? 6. We'll call it 60. And we'll extend out our place value because we end up with 60 times 32 is 1920. Subtract, and we get 128 left over. 128 goes in this box. We're looking for 32, goes into 128. And we know it already. It's 4. 4 times 32 is 128. We have a 0 remainder. And our quotient, our answer to a division problem, is just going to be here, 64. So 3 ways to do it. Essentially, you can use any method that gets you to the right answer. But estimating, that's going to be the real key when we have multi-digit divisors. You want to estimate to get very close. We don't memorize our 32s. We don't have numbers over 12 memorized. So this is where we have to use tools like estimating to get us all the way to the finish line. All right, mathematicians, I will be giving you your assignment in person. I'm assuming it's going to be Think Central, but who knows? Have a wonderful day.